award-winning Tennessee WildCast is on the air with the latest on hunting, fishing, boating, wildlife watching, and all things outdoors. Make welcome your host, drummer and outdoor expert novice, Jason Harmon.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Tennessee WildCast. We're glad you're tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Once again, this is a show. If you are listening on the radio or on the podcast, you need to go check it out on video because we're in a cool place.
Need to view it. I've never seen a saw blade this big.
There you go. There's a hint. Saw blade. Don King helping me co-host.
Yeah. Thanks for the invite, Jason.
Yeah.
Glad Amy's out of town on vacation, so I could be here to do this one today.
We travel west. Normally Amy helps co-host, but she's been busy this week. But anyway, we're happy to be here with Mr. Kurt Holbert. And
glad to be here.
A commissioner, the owner of this establishment, and we're going to learn a little bit about him today.
Yeah, about his life outside of the outdoors.
Yeah. So it's going to be fun. He's rolling off the commission, so we'll touch on a little bit of that today.
Okay.
But it's been a great time having him as chairman and as a commissioner. So
2 years in a row.
Yeah. So that's something special.
Sure is.
But it's
I don't know if I'd recommend it to anyone.
Might be ready for a break.
Absolutely.
Oh, man. Well, Kurt, we appreciate you having us here and inviting us in. And this is a pretty cool operation we have here. Now, we'll get talking about that soon, but just introduce yourself. Tell us who you are and what you do and that kind of thing. Introduce your family.
Introduce my family. Well, I'm Kurt Holbert. Born and raised in little old Decatur County in West Tennessee. And have stayed there my whole life. The business here is in Henderson County.
Okay.
But it's just not far from Decatur County. So we're all local, everything we do, and this is it. What you see, and it's a little bigger operation. But my family, I'm married to Melanie. We're high school sweethearts.
All right.
Started dating when I was 14.
Wow.
Yep, she was 15. Well, she was 16. She's older than me. But anyway, she could drive, so she would have to come get me, believe it or not, or my parents would have to take me to their house. So, but anyway, got married and have two great kids. Jackson, who is 18, is a freshman at University of North Alabama. He went there all because of fishing, and he will tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
That's
They've got a heck of a team there, from what I understand.
That's the reason he went.
We'll dive into some of that, too.
Yeah. My daughter, Lainey, is 13, and she's also big into fishing, but and basketball and everything else.
And
that she
sings the national anthem like you won't believe.
Sings the national anthem at a few commission meetings, at least one. Yeah. Maybe we can get her to sing at the finale.
I think that'd be appropriate.
So.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great. So, yeah, awesome. So, beautiful family. It's been fun getting to know them, coming to some of the meetings and things, and so that's awesome.
They've enjoyed that opportunity as well, I can assure you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Your wife sings really well, too. She does. She sang a few tunes.
That's right. I forgot you have heard her sing. Lainey definitely has her mother's voice, to say the least. Melanie actually sung to me at our wedding, and that's probably the best thing ever. So, but anyway, it was really special. So
that's cool.
She doesn't sing to me anymore. I don't know what happened.
Well, did you grow up in the outdoors? I know becoming a commissioner and being in that life, that's the outdoors, it's all about the outdoors. Did you grow up hunting and fishing? I
did. My dad started me out at a very early age. I can't remember a time in my life that I wasn't. I started out squirrel hunting.
Yeah.
That was the first thing. And, of course, fishing as long as I can remember.
Sure.
But squirrel hunting was the first, and then came dove hunting, and then, of course, deer hunting. Deer hunting was his passion. He did those other things just to be able to do something with me.
Yeah.
So deer hunting was his passion, but just can't remember a time that wasn't a part of my life.
Yeah. I think that happens for a lot of people, especially those that work for the agency or in that field,
right.
around the agency or become a commissioner. It's been a part of their life for a long time.
Yes, it definitely has.
So what's your favorite thing to do outdoors?
I'm still a big deer hunter.
Yeah.
I love to hunt. Other thing, I love to turkey hunt. I love to duck hunt on a good day. But killing a big buck is just still my passion. Mm-hmm. I'd still rather do that as any other kind of hunting.
Have you done that?
I have.
Okay.
I've done that a few
What's
times.
your personal best? I don't know if I've heard this story.
Well, no, my kids have all killed bigger than me, so I don't know if I want to talk about my personal best. So, but in the 150s, I've killed several in the 150s, and I like to hunt Tennessee. I do hunt out of state some, but I like to kill big deer in my home state.
Yeah,
I think
that's great.
That's much more of an accomplishment, and I love to go on hunts. There's nothing wrong with that. Take both my kids on hunts, but
by rights, I'd say you could claim the ones your kids got too, because if it weren't for you, they wouldn't have.
That's for sure.
Been successful,
But
that's
you think
for
they
sure.
said that? No.
No. We've got one watching us over here, but she wouldn't be on video, so I'm sure she's over there shaking her head.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah, it's fun to get kids outdoors and take them with you and introduce them. And I wanted to talk about that. Might as well just jump into it. I mean, it's a big part of my life. I like to take my son and my daughter, and they enjoy it, shooting and hunting in general. But that's what it's all about, getting people out there.
I totally agree. People have asked me what's my most memorable hunt, and what's the best hunt you've ever been on, and the two best hunts I've been on are my son's first deer and my daughter's first deer. They literally are. They're better than any hunt I could have went on myself. And I would even say other young people that I had an opportunity to take before my kids were born, even those first deer or the first turkey. The first turkey is just amazing. I mean, for people to get that. And the same way with my kids, it was on there when they got their first turkey as well. And it's just, those are the best hunts. Those are the hunts you never forget. And they'll never forget it either. But the opportunity to take others hunting, whether it be a kid or an adult for the first time. I had an opportunity this year to take he came to our church, and he was a preacher, and he was visiting, but he was a former Marine, about 80 years old, and he wanted to kill a big deer. And I had an opportunity to carry him on our farm in Decatur County after church on Sunday. He went that Monday morning, got the biggest deer he's ever killed in his life.
Oh, wow.
And it was just as good as a kid. I mean, the excitement on his face was just unreal. and introducing people to that is just, I don't know, there's just not many other feelings like that. It's just a great feeling. And the agency is full of people like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're all about trying to get people out there, young and old, and just introduce them to it. First time, maybe it's not their first time, maybe it's just get them back out there.
That's right.
This pandemic has really done that. I think a lot of people are reintroduced to the outdoors, finding their love for that again, and getting out there.
Absolutely. I know so many people that when I was younger in high school that hunted, we would hunt together, and that it just got out of it. Life takes you in a different direction.
Yep.
Kids take you different directions. Their kids may not like to hunt. It's got to where if you play sports, it's hard to do both because it's a full-time thing now. And it wasn't like when we were kids and your parents let you play Little League. That was it. You couldn't play soccer because that took up too much time. But anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
But all that went away, and folks got to reconnect with the outdoors. And many of them introduced their kids to the outdoors. And hopefully we've made hunters and fishermen or outdoorsmen for life now. I do think I know many that have went their first time this year and just fell in love with it.
Yeah, as far as, and we've mentioned this before on the show too, but license sales this year have just really done well,
Absolutely.
And especially with new folks that have never purchased a license before, which are that's really saying something right there. And
Absolutely.
to Jason and Todd's credit, there's a lot of good instructional stuff that they've been able to put together in some other folks at the agency too. The other communications and outreach folks that have done a great job of putting together some new things that some 101 stuff that works well for those trying to get into it.
Absolutely, and if folks aren't watching those, they're missing something. Because I have people all the time that please do another one of these. They don't realize they can go back and watch it, but they love this one-on-one that they can watch on Facebook Live or just whatever it may be on. But they fell in love with it, and I think you're going to have to keep doing it, Jason.
The virtual courses and things.
Yes, the virtual courses.
Yeah.
It's been some great stuff, whether it be hunting related, cutting up your own venison, or trapping related. A lot of people are getting into trapping again. It's really unique. My son has always loved it. I enjoy it. And I think we're seeing a comeback in trapping that kids and adults alike are seeing that, and they want to be able to learn more about it. So it's a great opportunity for the agency to pass that along.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I think so. Well, we kind of jumped over it. Let's go back and let's talk about the commission side of things. I mean, you've been on the commission for 5 years, is that right? Or
pretty much 6.
6 years.
6
March
years.
1st. So you've pretty much you've run your term, and it's been a great one. But just tell us a little bit about being a commissioner. What it's like. Would you encourage other people to do it?
I would. It's been great. I think when you become a commissioner, you've got all these ideas of what the commission does and what it's about, and then you sit there and you spin around in a chair for a year in a circle and realize that's nothing what you thought it was.
You learn a lot.
You learn a lot, and the one of the best pieces of advice I had was actually from an agency employee, believe it or not. But he told me that, the best thing. I think he was being a little bit of a smart aleck, but he's retired now. And I won't say his name anyway, but he said the best thing you can do is just sit there and listen. Uh-huh. But to be honest with you, that was some good advice.
Yeah.
I had some good mentors that were ahead of me, some really great commissioners. We were like-minded in many ways. I just can't remember many issues that were split on a vote. The majority of the time it was unanimous. Uh-huh. And I was able to sit there and watch the debate and listen to them. And I go back and just, I hate to name names, but the Harold Cannons and the David Watsons and the Jeff McMillan, Trey Tigg, Jamie Woodson. I mean, there's just a slew of them. I hate to name Bill Cox, but but just a slew of them that were great mentors. And I was able to watch them and learn so much in the first year. And they didn't leave me out. Right. They included us all and explained things. And but it's a huge learning curve, the biggest learning curve that I've ever had in my life, to learn what truly goes on. But I would definitely recommend it. If you're somebody that doesn't own your own business, is retired, doesn't have young kids, and has plenty of time.
It takes a lot of your time.
It takes a lot of time. I'm looking forward to.
What was it they told you initially? Like 2 days a month.
2 days a month. And my wife asked that question. She was like, "How much time is this going to take?" And Jeff Grigg said, "Oh, it's just 2 days a month.
That's probably
pretty much it. You just drive to where the meeting's in. You just meet, and that it is 2 days a month. But there's definitely a lot more.
There's a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails,
a lot of phone calls, and hundreds of emails.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what you're there for, though, as you're there to take calls from your constituents and the folks in your region or that you work in your district and help them out. That's why you're there.
It is, and that's been it's really the reason I wanted to be a commissioner. I felt like that I was, and it's not like anybody, I'm not saying other commissioners are up on a pedestal. I'm just saying I felt like I was a normal guy. Uh-huh. I'm from the country. I'm not this well-known guy with all these connections, but I felt like I was just a normal guy. Uh-huh. I mean, I know what it's like when I was a kid to not have a place to hunt. If it wasn't for my hunter ed instructor, Mr. Philip Spence, and his family, they allowed us a place to hunt. And I look back at that today, and would I be an outdoorsman if somebody hadn't opened up their farm for us? And my family to hunt,
right.
Our whole family.
Right.
Still, some of the closest friends I have today are those folks. But anyway, it was just to be able to talk to every hunter out here and to feel like I know exactly what they're talking about. Uh-huh. And to be able to have that conversation with them. And I think it helps them to know that they have somebody up there that, hey, he's just as country boy as I am, and if you want to say it that way. But anyway, it's just been an honor to serve, and I would recommend it to anybody that has a true passion and truly wants to help promote the outdoors in Tennessee, because what a state we have.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to go from West Tennessee to East Tennessee and see the differences and the opportunities.
Yeah.
I do go out of state hunting, but Tennessee has more opportunities than any state I know that's close by. Yes, you can go to Alaska, but any state close to us. I mean, such a diversity. Mm-hmm. We got some of the best duck hunting when there is ducks.
Right.
In Northwest Tennessee, and you go to East Tennessee if you want to kill a bear, you can kill a good black bear. Some of the best fisheries in the nation.
Yeah.
Are in our state, and I mean, it's just a great state to live in. We got a governor now that Governor Haslam appointed me, and I appreciate that. And Governor Lee, who is our governor now, is a huge outdoorsman. Yeah. Loves the outdoors. Loves to spend time outdoors. And what a benefit that is to have a governor that's supportive. And I think Jason, you've had him on the show.
Yeah, he was great, great guest. And
just to see some screenshots of him out hunting with a bow this year and promoting it. He's just a great guy, and it's good to have a governor on board with the outdoors and promoting the outdoors, and what outdoors can do for the rural economy in our state is really unbelievable when you figure the factor in,
right.
and what TWRA can do to help promote that.
Especially some of these smaller communities that's their life, hunting and fishing, and
absolutely
brings more people to those areas and boosts those economies. Yeah,
absolutely. The one draw we have in Decatur County is Kentucky Lake. We call it Tennessee River, but anyway, it's Kentucky Lake, and that's our one drawing card. Whether it be fishing or recreation, that's our one drawing card, and that's all we have to play our cards on, and that's what we're trying to promote is fishing and the outdoor world, whether it be recreation or hunting.
Well, I don't want to run out of time, and there's a few things I want to touch on. One on the commission line. What's one thing that stands out that you didn't know, or is kind of a surprise? We protect that animal, or we have that, or there's that animal. What was one thing that stood out?
I think the one thing that surprises me the most is nothing to do with hunting and fishing. It's how much the agency is involved in non-game species. All those species that we never think about. The salamanders that we turn over rocks as a kid and pick up and look at, and we never know how endangered those were. And the bats, how much emphasis is put on bats or crawfish, or it's just anything. And that part of the agency really surprised me. It's a part that I really didn't know existed.
Right.
To be honest with you, that we were responsible for that part.
Yep.
And it's a huge part of our ecosystem. It's
It
a very
really
important part.
Yeah.
It really makes all the other stuff go round, if you want to say that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I think that's a surprise to a lot of people sometimes. They don't think about those things.
And a lot of the habitat work that gets done for the game animals ends up really benefiting the songbirds and
absolutely
and other animals that we don't hunt for but really appreciate as Tennesseans.
That's right. Absolutely. But there's a lot of people that come to Tennessee to look at birds.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that they really do. People drive for miles to come to Tennessee and birdwatch.
Yeah.
They drive for miles to go to Hiwassee and see the sandhill cranes.
Yeah.
And if you've never done it, you should do it. It's really amazing. That's another animal we have. It's awesome. So.
Yeah. Well, on the same line of wildlife and fish and all that stuff, I wanted to touch on how much you've played a big part in the Tennessee Bass Nation and some of that stuff. Talk about some of that you've been involved in. Your son's fishing and winning those tournaments and things. It's awesome.
Yeah. I actually spent my morning this morning with Tennessee Bass Nation.
Okay.
Jake Davis, and they actually we had, I don't know how many kids, probably 50 at least. And we had two of our fisheries guys come down to help, and they left here this morning. We provided the stakes, the fish habitat stakes.
Oh, so you saw them?
We did it right here.
Only a lot longer, right?
Yes, we did.
Okay, all right.
So we provided those, and they left here with about 12,000 of them this morning. And I dare say they put out most of those today.
Oh, yeah.
And it was amazing seeing those kids who love to fish, but had never had the opportunity to be in that part of it. And it makes you appreciate it so much more, to put a little effort into giving those fish some habitat and to doing that. And Tennessee has the biggest high school fishing. They have more kids in high school fishing than any other state in the nation right now. And that's a lot of tributes to bass and Tennessee Bass Nation, but it's also a tribute to our fisheries.
Yeah.
I actually can give more credit to them, because if the fisheries weren't here, we wouldn't have kids that want to fish. But been a great opportunity for both my kids. My son's fishing in college now, and my daughter's still fishing. She's fishing middle school, and just loves it.
That's great.
That's great. Yeah. That's an opportunity. You mentioned college. That's an opportunity for scholarships.
It is.
I mean, you think about the big ball sports or, football, basketball, baseball, those bring in the scholarships, but there's a lot out there for those who like to fish.
Absolutely. There's many schools, and he chose a school in Alabama, but there are many schools in Tennessee.
Oh, man.
I know it. There's many schools in Tennessee that offer scholarships for it, and it's exciting.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. It's a sport. It's being outdoors. It's a fun that you can just have fun with. You don't have to compete with it. And even if you win or lose, you're still having fun catching fish.
It's the fastest growing sport in the nation right now.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting.
A lifelong activity, too.
It's kind of like golf.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Except for not near as frustrating. Yeah. Well, maybe it is.
It's pretty frustrating at times. Yeah, especially if you're the boat captain and,
I take that back.
And your crew's not catching any fish. And you're kind of responsible for trying to put them on to a good place.
Right.
Yeah, it can get pretty frustrating. So,
well, if somebody wanted to get involved in that, how would you encourage them to do that?
It's very easy. It is so easy. You don't even have to have a school sponsor. If your high school or middle school doesn't want to, take that responsibility on, then you can just join Bass yourself and call yourself the whatever you want to call yourself. I'm trying to think of something you guys could call yourself, but I can't say any of that. So.
Okay.
The Two Drummer Boys or something. I don't know. But if you want to call yourself the Two Drummer Boys fishing team, then you could fish that way. But that's the neat thing about it. It's not governed by TWSAA, and anybody can do it. Doesn't matter, male, female. It just doesn't matter. Age, you got to be of age. But all you need is somebody that will carry you fishing, and that's it.
That's
it's
cool.
a great opportunity.
Yeah.
That reminds me of NASP. That's another opportunity that we work with, the NASP program, for folks to be able to start getting into archery shooting and that kind of thing. And SCTP is a great program to get kids out shooting, and that's an important element in all of it, too.
Absolutely. It is, and that's a growing sport, too. I mean, people love it. So.
Those shooters become hunters, and hopefully hunters become anglers, and just, it's great.
Absolutely.
It's great. Well, I'm sitting here looking at these, and it's hard not to pick a pair up and play a little tune. But tell me about this part of your sawmill. I think this is so cool.
It's a neat part, and a lot of people don't know. A lot of people drive by here every day and don't know, our main focus.
Sure.
But the business was started approximately 52 years ago. It's been here ever since. It started by my wife's family. It was started by her father and his first cousin.
Okay.
And that's how it was started. They were here for 49 years. Sold it to the younger generation. My wife and I own half, and then his children own half. So it's still the same two families that own it, and we're still doing the same thing. But that's our main focus, is to make drumstick blanks, which is just a square blank, and then of course they get turned into the real thing.
Yeah.
And but that's it. We make them all out of hickory. We produce several million of them a year. And but most people don't know those are made in Tennessee. It's a neat little thing.
I think it's awesome.
That is neat.
And a lot of times when you tell people you make drumsticks, and I have truck drivers come in here and you say, "What do they do down there at that building?" I say, "Well, those are drumstick blanks or something." They look at you like, "Drumsticks? What are you talking about?" I'm like, drumstick. Turkey. And one of them did say, he's like, "You talking about a chicken?" I was like, "No, we don't saw wood and make chicken out of it." But anyway, I guess we would be millionaires. But no, I can't turn wood into a chicken. But it is amazing the looks you get when you tell people you make drumstick. Really?
Yeah.
And it takes them a minute and then they're like, "Oh, you're talking about a real drumstick?" Like, yeah, that's really it.
So that's another building down the hill. But this mill here, what are you making here?
So that's actually where the log is sawn.
Okay.
So the log will come into that saw, and when it gets done, we saw a board at a time, and so that saw does turn fast.
Okay.
Like you guys said, that's like Don said, that's the biggest saw he's ever seen.
Yeah.
So it does, and the agriculture industry, Farm Bureau has been an important part in my relationship with TWRA and
sure.
Agriculture in general, and I think that's a partnership we share. It's a delicate one because farmers are very important to our hunters. It's very important, and it's a tough balance. Deer and other animals do a whole lot of damage to crops, and we've improved that relationship greatly, and our relationship with Farm Bureau and their members is at an all-time high right now, and it's been fun being able to help that part of the industry. Too.
Yeah. Well, thinking, you made me think of how the commission travels. We have to travel across the state. What's one of the places that you got to adventure out and see that you wouldn't have gotten to see if you hadn't been a commissioner? And you thought, wow, that's cool. I didn't know we really did that or had that, or it's neat to see this now. And
I think Greenville. Greenville, Tennessee.
Really? Greenville, Tennessee?
I know that sounds odd. But just one of the neatest little places in the state. I love it. The old hotel that's there.
Yeah. That is a classic place.
Got to meet there early on, and it's close enough to Bristol that you can go up to Bristol and watch the race. We always usually have that meeting in August, so we met there and went up and watched the race at least 2 times during my commission. We'd just stay on our own time and then go up with our families and watch the race. But there's been a lot of neat places we've met. But I would have to say that's probably one of my favorites.
All right.
A lot of great trout fishing there in that area too.
There is.
You're not out there near Bristol. There's a lot of good trout fishing.
There is.
That's cool.
We went this year. We went striper fishing when we were over there. So
I
never caught a striper, so we went over there and striper fish. So
see, it's those opportunities. That's neat to do things you hadn't got to do before.
It is very, very neat. Lone Oaks would be another one. If I don't mention Lone Oaks Farm.
Oh yeah,
that's an awesome place that is going to be a crown jewel for our state.
Yeah, people are going to learn more about that.
They are, and if you haven't been there, I'm telling you, you need to look it up. And UT has done an excellent job with that, and the kids that are in 4-H are going to just have an unbelievable opportunity in this state.
Right.
To go down there and participate in the outdoors, whether it be fishing, hunting, shooting bows, or just whatever. So.
Well, I know we've partnered with a lot of programs out there already, and there's going to be a lot of opportunities.
Absolutely.
There.
Absolutely.
Well, Kurt, it's been fun. Thanks for having us here, and thanks for all you've done as a commissioner.
I appreciate you guys very much.
Thank you for your service, Kurt.
Thanks, guys.
Really do appreciate it.
It's been a good ride.
Yeah, it's been great getting to know you. This has been fun conversation. Learn a little bit more about your business and your love for the outdoors. It's been fun. So.
Hey, and you ended up with a few sets of drumsticks,
too. We got a little practice to do on the way home.
I know, yeah.
That's right.
Can I play on the steering wheel of the truck? No.
Jason's kid may enjoy those.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, he'll be taking a few pair out of my hands, I'm sure. All right. Well, anyway, I appreciate you, Kurt. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time on Tennessee WildCast.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay connected with TWRA by visiting our website at tnwildlife.org and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hey, it's all about Tennessee wildlife. It's what we do. Tennessee WildCast will be on the air again next week. We'll see you then.